Hi y'all, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited that you are here with me today as always. For today's look, I'm gonna do my very first get ready with right here, and this is just a really nice and easy transition fall look. And if you guys are interested in seeing how I achieve this look, then please just keep on watching this video. Bye. Let's just do it. So we're gonna start with the Corali Beauty Elixir and just... So once we put that on, we're gonna go in and moisturize. I'm gonna use my favorite moisturizer of the moment, the Glam Glow Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer. I do like to use this Glam Glow Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer. That's a mouthful. Even when I'm using more satin finish or matte finish foundations, just because it really helps keeping the life in my skin and really helps just make it look a little bit more healthy. And now it is time for primer. We're gonna go with my all-time favorite, my Benefit Professional Pore Minimizing Primer. A little bit goes a long way with this stuff, so I'm just gonna squeeze a bit on my hand and just tap a little bit on one finger. I just really concentrate this stuff in the T-zone. Really don't use very much product for my forehead and chin. I use most of the product on the center of my face, so my nose and right around my nose, because just like I feel like most people, that's where I have the most problem. It's where I have the biggest problem with my pores. So I'm not gonna color correct today, which is very, very rare for me because I am going to be trying out a new foundation, and I'm trying the Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Oil-Free Foundation. So this is more new. It's not like brand new, just dropped this week. It dropped a little bit ago. Casey Holmes YouTube video about it. I will find it for you guys and link it down below. She really sold me on it. She said that it was just so great and it looked so good. And of course I got the concealer to go with it. So I'm gonna be trying those today. So that's the super long story of why I'm not color correcting today, because I really want to see what the deal is with this guy. So I'm just gonna put it on my finger and dot it all over my face. I'm really not sure. I don't remember what Casey said the coverage was. Just gonna take my beauty blender, my damp beauty blender, and start patting it in. Okay, I most definitely need another layer. Okay, so this is most definitely a dewy finish. So right off the bat, I'm not crazy about it. I mean, I don't hate it. It definitely is accentuating my pores, which I'm not a huge fan of. I think I'm gonna set this with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm just gonna take my Bare Minerals Seamless Shaping and Finishing Brush. Just gonna kind of press this into my skin. So now we're gonna use the Studio Skin 24-Hour Waterproof Concealer. So this was made for this foundation. So that's why I got it, and Casey Holmes said that they work really great together. I got the lightest shade, which is fair. I'm a little concerned that it may not be light enough. I mean, it's pretty light, but I'm pretty pale, so. But we're just gonna, no, this is a pretty good shade. Ooh, it feels really good. There's almost like a cooling sensation. It's definitely more natural looking, which I'm not mad at. I'm gonna actually add a little bit more, just because I do have pretty bad rosacea. Yeah, I like this concealer, I do. It's giving me some Too Faced Born This Way concealer vibes. It's reminding me a lot of that. Noticing with the concealer, just like the foundation, it accentuates pores a little bit, which could be a potential problem for me. There's definitely a possibility that they could be returned. Not gonna lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. I think I'm gonna bake. So I'm gonna take my RC May No Color Powder and my Real Techniques complexion sponge. I'm gonna take the flat end and dip it into here and press this up underneath my eyeballs where I put the concealer. I just realized I didn't finish putting my concealer all over my face. Gonna have to finish that. So I'm just gonna go real quick off camera and do my brows. Okay, so now that the brows are done, you wanna go ahead and wipe on your baking. Moving on. So I'm gonna take my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I'm gonna take my MAC 168, if I can find it. And I'm going to dip into that. I'm just gonna come right here from where my ear starts and just buff that down. And then just take, this is a diffuser brush. It's also a stippling brush. It's the same thing, but a big, huge one like this can be used to diffuse powder products. So like if you put too much powder foundation on or too much bronzer on, or it's just, you need to buff it out, which I like to do. I like to kind of like center it or concentrate it towards one area, most of the pigment, and then go back in and buff it out because it creates a more natural, defined, sculpted look. And just buff it out. Then go back on that 168. That's not the right powder. Very little. And just kind of get up here towards the tops of your forehead. And buff it out. A little more on the other side. Just take a little tiny bit and pat it into the sides of your nose. Now moving on to the blush, I'm gonna take a Morphe E4. My favorite blush for fall is NARS Gulu. I did just look up how to say that. That is how you say it, Gulu. Gulu. This is my favorite blush to use for fall. This is like a sample that I got when I went VIB Rouge or whatever. From Sephora, but it's just this really, really nice darker toned pink with a little bit of shimmer-ish, and you're just gonna pat it up and blend it up on the cheekbones. I always do my highlight last, so I'm gonna move on to my eyeballs. This is the Kylie Cosmetics Kai Shadow Bronze Eyeshadow Palette. It's just really, really good, you guys. Like I said in my favorites video, there's so many preconceived notions about this brand, whether they're positive or negative, just because of the face of the brand and the person behind it. No matter how you feel about Kylie Jenner, this is a really good eyeshadow palette. You might not like it, some people might not like it, and some people will like it. I personally am one of those people that do like it. They are not the most crazy, intense pigmented shadows that I've ever used, but they do have really good pigment, and they do blend so well. And this range of colors is just really, really, really nice together. I know a lot of people are saying that they're very similar to other eyeshadow palettes out there. There's so many eyeshadow palettes out there. There is never going to be one eyeshadow palette that is completely entirely different from every other single eyeshadow palette on the planet. This is a bronze eyeshadow palette. There is a lot of bronze eyeshadow palettes out there, so yes, it's going to be similar to a lot of other things, but this palette on its own is very, very pretty, and all the colors really go together, and there's a lot of opportunity for a bunch of different looks in this palette, so I really, really dig it. That's my little spiel on that. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. All names and people aside, this palette, take away the name, take away who makes it, it's a good palette. So that's why I like it, and that's why I am using it. I'm going to take this flesh tone color, it's flesh tone for me, this is the shade Jasper. I'm just gonna pack it onto this Bobbi Brown Eye Sweet brush, and I'm just going to put that all over, but I'm mainly gonna concentrate it kind of up here, just where we want it get highlighted. I learned that trick from Desi Perkins' one of her latest tutorials. She concentrated the bright color up here just because that's where you want everything highlighted, is the brow bone, and I was like, wow, that's genius. That's really, really genius. Now I'm gonna take this middle shade right here, and this is Citrine, and I am going to use a big fluffy brush. This is a Morphe E23, again from the old Elite collection, and I am just going to tap it in there, pop off the excess, and I'm going to focus this all over my crease and just blend it back and forth in windshield wiper motions. As a nice transition shade, kind of focusing a little bit above the crease as opposed to going below it. Next, I am going to take a MAC 217, if I can find it. And I'm gonna pick up this nice warm burgundy shade right here. This is the shade Obsidian, right? Not Hematite. Yeah, this is the shade Obsidian. And I'm gonna take it on a MAC 217. And I'm gonna focus this on the outer V, pulling it up a little bit to the crease and in a little bit and just blending it out. And then I'm gonna take that same brush, I'm just gonna dust it off a little bit. I can't find my color switch. And I am going to dip into this dark brown shade here. This is Bronzite, and I'm going to definitely focus this just on the outer corner. I'm just really lightly tapping it in a V shape on the outer corner of my eye, and then I'm gonna pick up this large fluffy brush that I used for the transition earlier. Just in little circular motions, I'm just gonna buff it out and blend it all together. And then you have this really nice, pretty, dark, almost sunset looking, kind of gives me like Lion King vibes going on in here. And we're gonna repeat the step on the other eye. Oh, since it's not completely fall yet, I mean it is fall, but it still feels like summer outside and looks like summer outside, I like to add shimmer still to the lid, but a way, way, way less intense, more subtle shimmer. And that's really what I like about this quartz shade in the Kai Shadow kit right here, because it's not crazy intense, but I can make it crazy intense with a MAC Fix Plus or an Urban Decay All Nighter or something like that. So for this occasion, we're just gonna use it dry, and it's gonna give us this nice, natural looking, pretty sheen to matte thing going on. And so I really dig it. So I'm just going to take a flat shader brush. This is a Morphe M224. Pack it on there, and then we're just going to very lightly tap it and press it into the lid. Just focusing on the inner corner and the center. And then I'm going to pick up whatever's left on this MAC 217, and just go right back in on that outer corner and just make sure that there is no obvious lines where one shade ends and one shade begins. And then I'm going to take my fluffy brush again and dip back into that citrine color and just go back over the crease to make sure again that there is no obvious or harsh lines and that everything is blended. Now I am going to pick up a little pencil brush. I am going to use my Morphe Bullet Crease. This is the E24, also from the old Elite collection. I really loved that collection. I haven't tried any of the new ones, so that's why I'm using all my old ones. To this warm brown right here, and this is called Tiger's Eye. And I'm just going to line my lower lash line with a very light hand. I don't want anything too intense. And then I'm just going to pick up my MAC 217 and buff a little bit just to add a little bit more depth to it. And then pick up that E23 again and blend it all out, just whatever's left. And it gives you this really nice, subtle, smoky, sunsetty look that I'm really, really into. And then I'm going to pick up this, oh, that's not it. Then I'm gonna pick up this Bobbi Brown little eye smudge brush, and I'm gonna dip back into quartz. And I am gonna spray a little bit of all-nighter on this just because I wanna highlight my inner corner into the inner corner. And then I'm gonna pick up a little Vera Mona, little short shader brush, and I'm going to dip into Jasper, the one that we use to set the lid, and I'm gonna highlight my brow bone with that one. We are going to tightline our upper waterline. And I'm going to take this Estee Lauder Pure Color Intense Cajole Eyeliner. This is in the shade 01 Blackened Black. And I am just going to go ahead and tightline real quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my Huda Beauty Jade number 13 lashes and prep them with some lash glue. Apply my falsies and I'll be right back. So while those are kind of getting settled on my eyes, I'm going to pick up my Benefit Roller Lash again and apply that to my bottom lashes. I think I'm going to take my ColourPop. It is so worn down. This is the ColourPop Cream Liner, and I'm pretty sure this is the shade, what is this called? It's called, but I'll put it on the screen here somewhere so that you guys know what it's called. This is probably one of my favorite liners of all time. I love their gel liners. They're so creamy and pigmented, and they last in the waterline, and they just look so, so good for a nice pop of color. This is a really nice shimmery gold, and I'm gonna line my waterline with it to add a little something, something. Now for highlighter, very exciting. We're gonna use the new Jouer highlighters. This is in the shade Citrine. I've used this quite a bit. I will say it does pick up texture on your face. If you have a lot of texture going on, it is going to highlight that very, very much. But I really, really do love this highlighter. It's such a pretty shade. So I'm going to take my Real Techniques. This is the setting brush, and I'm just going to lightly dip in, and I'm just gonna apply that to the tops of my cheekbones. Be super light-handed because they are so intense, and since they do pick up so much texture. But just look how gorgeous that is. I mean, I can deal. You can show all the texture you want when you look like that. For lips today, I'm going to use Kylie's Liquid Lip in Dulce K. I can't find my lip liners anywhere. I'm going back and forth between home and school, and everything's like packed in a different way than I'm used to it being set up. So I can't find my lip liners anywhere, so we're just gonna use the Liquid Lip today. Normally I would use the liner as well, but this is a really good shade and it's super good for fall. This is the finished look, you guys. I really, really am into it. I'm really feeling it. I think this is perfect for transitioning from summer to fall. If you're like me and you live in the South, I live in Texas, the southernmost state, and it is so flipping hot still. Like, it's still 90 something degrees every single day, and it's almost October, but that's the way it is. It normally doesn't really get any type of cold around here until like November, and when I say cold, I mean like 65. That's freezing for me because I'm from Texas. So this, I just feel like, is such a pretty look for transitioning into fall. It's not too dark and it's not too much of anything. Get really close to you guys. Can you see? Can you see? I really like this lipstick. I haven't worn it in a while, and I just really dig that my eyes just kind of look like a sunset. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so, so much. Don't forget, as of right now, I'm at like 838 subscribers. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a huge, and when I say huge, I mean a huge giveaway. So far, I have like 2 Morphe palettes, some Juvia's Place palettes, Jeffree Star Liquid Lips, the Balm highlighters. I have so much stuff to give away, and I'm still accumulating more. Just make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, tell all your friends, keep a lookout on my channel and on my Instagram. Tell all your friends to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I post new videos every single week, and I would love to have you guys join my little family. Don't forget to celebrate yourself every single day in every single way. I love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.